bullshit. We can't know how to do it. We're not supposed to give you like a Red Bull vodka, but I can give you like a vodka and a Red Bull. I just can't mix them for you. And I was like, this is fucking dumb.
At The Rock, they have a drink that literally comes in a bucket with an energy drink turned upside down in it. But I guess it doesn't mix with the drink until you pull the energy can, till you pull the can out and it dumps out of the thing. So
no, that's way better.
I mean,
I would definitely do that. Oh shit, are we going? Come on, fucking.
Well, I mean, it started.
Yeah.
Either way.
Come on, hardware department. You gotta fucking let me know. I'm just gonna burp just to get out the way.
Yeah, I know. I
there
already
you go,
got
Rick.
your
That's
fucking
real.
mouth noise on my. Well, that's even worse.
Yeah, that one tastes like pizza.
It puts the lotion on the skin.
No.
intro.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Welcome to the Seattle Smoke Show podcast.
Are you trying to be?
What?
Is that a little Nas X?
No.
You're just throwing some country in there?
Yes.
And then we'll call it something else.
Howdy. This is the country time.
Oh, no, you know what it is?
Seattle Smoke Show podcast for
Christmas poo.
Christmas.
Mr. Hanky.
Mr. Hanky, you're right.
Poo. Yeah,
he was
Mr.
country, though. He was country as fuck.
Oh, maybe. That's what that voice sounds like.
For July the 14th.
I haven't been able to get that high since puberty. I envy you.
Well, that's what I do is get it high.
Speaking of which,
You guys want to get high?
are we going to start with an uninfused sativa or an infused indica?
You already know what I'm going to say.
Well,
Daddy
one is
wants-
infused and
Well,
one
Daddy
is not.
wants the sativa.
Oh,
Always.
But it's not
you know,
infused.
no one ever said that.
Exactly.
Look, when customers come in and they're like, dude, I'm trying to buy this joint for my girl. What kind of weed do girls like? Sativas.
Always.
Okay.
Always. Girls like sativas.
I heard.
Yeah,
Guys
girls
like to get
cocaine. That makes sense. They like uppers.
No, I heard a while ago they made a special strain just to what's the word I'm looking
For the
for?
ladies?
Just to my name's
An
James. I don't know
aphrodisiac.
words. Yeah,
Sexual
as an aphrodisiac,
energy?
but it was just for women.
To increase the...
It was.
There's several strains that are designed to do that.
Yeah.
Dirty Girl actually does a pretty good job, but the only reason is because when I present it to somebody who's like, I want something for sexy time, I'm like, you want Dirty Girl, and they're like, ooh. It really doesn't actually do anything; it just gets you stoned.
That's
but
a placebo effect.
And also, really, what they're doing is they're going home and jerking off.
we had some
they're
called.
jerking on.
No, we had a
On a rug.
strain called Green Love Potion that was supposed to do that. It was an indica hybrid, made me nice and
Facilitate.
stoned and couch
Fuck, that is the
melty,
word I was
but
looking for. What do you want,
it
beer?
definitely did not make me horny. All right, we're starting
Well,
with
to
the
be honest, they
sativa.
didn't really design it to make you horny.
All weed makes me horny.
That's actually a problem.
Just
buddy.
looking at it. Yeah.
We are now the Seattle Drink Show.
Hey. We're the Seattle Drink Show because we're drinking before we're smoking.
That's true.
And
That's what we do.
thanks to David here.
Captain Morgan and Mr. Coors.
Yeah, well, it's a real classic pirate party right now.
So
I
we
bet
did-
pirates had better beer than we do right now. Sorry. go ahead.
Pirates didn't have beer.
They had like...
They had rum. They had hard
ale.
alcohol.
Yeah.
The beer wouldn't have kept for that long. Like for the sea voyages and stuff.
yeah, on the ship, yeah.
So what we're smoking is Point Break, which is Tropicana cookies crossed with Trophy Wife, which is a super tasty orange tasting hybrid crossed with an indica hybrid that should be really nice, but I haven't tried it. The flower for this, we just got it in my store. It's purple and frosty. It's beautiful. I've really been looking forward to trying it, but it's a fucking sativa, so I haven't tried it yet. THCA is 29.8. If we believe numbers, this should blow our fucking minds.
I don't know. We've had some 30s on the podcast.
Those were all infused.
we've had
Everything
40s
we've
on
ever smoked has been infused except this, and this says 29.8.
I like that. I'm okay with that.
See, I think we believe the
This-
numbers, but David's the one that's skeptical.
This
Oh.
infused one that we're going to smoke later says 27.9. The numbers are lying.
Well, that makes sense.
The numbers are a lie. The cake is a lie.
You even play that game?
I wouldn't know that reference unless I did, sir.
I've never played that game, and I know that reference.
That's weird. And yes,
Dude, I've been playing.
I do.
Aperture Science.
I've been playing the
We
handsome.
do what we must because...
I've been playing the handsome collection. Borderlands. Is that what you're playing?
No.
It came out free for PS4.
For
I've
potatoes?
been playing Shadows of Mordor.
Really? That's a good game. Oh yeah, because you have the Game Pass.
Yeah.
Supposedly, this is a rumor, only speculation right now, but supposedly there's been a couple of leaked shots of what the new games are going to be for next week or next month.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, which there's some debate, obviously, but it's going to be UFC 3. And
aren't they on like UFC 30 right now?
No, that game just recently came out.
And by recently,
Really?
you mean like 2 years ago?
Yeah, fairly recently. And then, man, what was the other game they were coming out with?
All right, well, Rick fails horribly at whatever he was doing.
Oh, Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Super old again.
That is an
Couple
old
years.
game, but
That was
I
like a
would play
PC
that
game.
again. I would play that again.
I'm just saying, those are actually
I wish they
two
would
really
put
good
out
games to
like
put out.
KOTOR. I want to see Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 available.
Aren't they available on the Game Pass?
No.
Game Pass, totally.
I
If
think
they
they're
were, I would
available.
do it because those are largely turn-based.
I think they're. Oh, I don't know. I know Battlefront is available for the Xbox Game Pass.
Well, Battlefront's available for all kinds of systems, but
Look at this fucking nerd podcast.
I haven't
So we
seen
gotta nerd up.
Knights of the Old Republic.
I'm just saying. Actually, I just saw an article on it. That's why I brought it up. We were talking about it. We haven't been killing it in Borderlands 2, and then I was like, I'm kind of getting bored because I beat the game, but then it's like, oh, continue, and you have the other stuff. So I was playing through the pre-Borderlands. What was it called?
The pre-sequel.
The pre-sequel.
The preland.
And it's making me excited for the third one. I don't know if I'll buy it.
There's
Yeah,
I'm sure I'll.
But-
I've played all the Borderlands. I enjoyed
yeah,
them.
they're really fun.
They're multiplayer drop-in, drop-out co-op.
Yeah,
They're awesome.
agreed.
Like nothing is like that. Very
Agreed.
few games are like that, and it's like couch co-op split screen.
And they put in some
That's the best
references that
part.
are super funny. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
the Lost Legend, that's all Halo. They're just like obviously making a joke about the Halo franchise where they have the, politically incorrect named people, the midgets, isn't that what they are? What are they called?
They're called midget.
But there's different classes of them.
different kinds.
Just different kinds. I just think that's hilarious. Like, they do all that kind of shit, and they're very, very... Like, they have the little girl that, loves blowing people up when she's 12.
Yeah,
Something like that.
She's awesome.
She's the best
One of my
player.
favorites.
fucking awesome.
She's one of the best NPCs. Hey, where am I ashing this? It's on the floor.
Probably the ashtray. It's one of the two that's right beside you.
Okay, so I know you guys aren't real sports guys.
Are we gonna speculate on the NBA?
We're gonna speculate just not on the NBA. You can if you'd like to.
No, it just become. I like Bill Burr's take on the NBA now. Now that it's become
Mainstream?
off season, they're like, oh my God, have you heard what he's been talking about? He's been talking about this team, and this team's been talking about this team, and like it's all just become this like
Very
Back and forth.
rumored based, like he
Yeah.
said, she said,
Yeah,
and
it's
like that's
dramatic.
all the news. Hey, this guy said this to this person. You might be talking to these people over here, and you're like,
That sounds like a bunch of
what
high
the-
school bullshit.
exactly.
What it really is it's called tampering, and it's illegal. But you're not gonna stop players from tampering.
That's true.
But no, the reason we're gonna talk sports is because to talk about third favorite sport, fourth
Soccer.
fourth
Hockey?
favorite sport.
Cricket.
It's soccer.
Darts.
It's soccer. Big shout out to the Women's World Cup team.
Hey, for winning.
Yeah, they did something. I don't think they're ever going to get paid as much.
No.
No, and to be honest, they shouldn't at this point.
Wow, that's just disrespectful, right?
No, it's not.
pretty
It's
shady.
not. It's not a personal
Do
thing.
you hate women?
No, it's
Right?
business.
No, it sounds like you hate women.
There's a pie. The women's cup makes this much money. They get a section of that pie. If that pie got bigger, they would get more.
The women make 13%
I was just going to say, I think they
of
make a
the
bigger
Women's
percentage.
World Cup revenue. The men make 9% without going to the fucking World Cup because they suck ass.
That's fine. So
Wow.
they still get a higher percentage. You can't
No,
be angry
no,
at
they
fans
get-
for
no,
not
they get a
watching.
smaller
they get a higher percentage of something they're not involved in. They don't
fine.
go to the World Cup. They suck ass.
You're right.
The
Agreed.
women win the World Cup. The men don't even go.
Agreed.
Because they're pretty trash.
But the thing is that people actually give a shit about men's soccer, and they don't, unfortunately.
Not in America.
I mean, split.
No one in America gives a shit about men's soccer. Can you
Right.
name one player from the men's soccer team?
Dempsey.
Yeah.
Just the only all-star we've ever
Him,
Yeah.
not you, not the fucking sports
It's not
guy.
about
That's
that.
true.
It's not
The
about
pop
that.
culture
No,
prick who can
it's-
probably name 2 or 3 of the women.
That's a good
Actually,
nickname. We're gonna
well,
call
I
you
only
that
know
from
the
now on.
one.
Pop
I only
culture
want,
prick.
I know the one girl because she's super famous. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they shouldn't get paid more. I agree that they should get paid more, but you can't be angry at the organization for only having this much of the pie.
You can't-
If
you
you,
can't
go,
keep
okay,
saying
so if
this
you
much
get
either.
how much does the World's Women's Cup make? I don't know. They make
Let's
it doesn't
guess.
even make half of what the Women's World Cup makes. Doesn't even make half.
Yeah.
So if the money's not there, the advertising, the revenue is not there. It's not. I mean, what are you going to do? It's like women's NBA. Well, they're not making the same money that the NBA players are. Well, there's not
Yes,
a demand.
but people watch the men's NBA.
I understand, but they don't watch the women's World Cup.
The men's team who like gets their ass trashed and handed to them at the very bottom of the list,
100%,
still make a lot of money.
Are still making more money than the women.
That's probably
who win.
A small amount. 9%.
The women can't fucking sell.
It's probably a small amount of what. No. It's dude. It's not that I don't think that they. I think they should get paid more money. It's not about that. But people need to start watching the Women's World Cup is the whole issue. If people aren't watching it, there's no revenue base. Advertisers aren't going to pay as much money as they do, say, for like the Super Bowl.
The money is there to pay them. The choice has been made not to.
Okay. I disagree.
So let's look up. What they make.
I disagree.
Keep you talking. I think
just like you said, they make a higher percentage of the total money, but because the total money isn't that much,
right?
It's not going to matter. They could make 50%.
It's still not going to be as much.
It's because you're comparing it to what the entire World Cup makes. You're not. How much money does the men's U.S. soccer team generate? Not how much money does the World Cup generate. How much does that team generate? Because the women's team generates more.
It doesn't.
I guarantee it does.
The worst NBA team in the league probably generates more money than the best WNBA team.
Right. It's just what it is.
Probably.
People aren't watching
NBA, not soccer.
But it's not that they aren't great players. She's an awesome player. Agreed. She should be getting money. And you know where she should be getting it? Probably from sponsorships, because obviously there's not enough money.
She should be getting money from her employer.
Obviously
and
there's
bonuses from sponsorships.
Fine, but obviously there's not enough money in this Women's Cup as to what she thinks she should be making. Whether you agree with it or not, she should be making, if you can't make money there, you find other ways to make money.
Okay, so look, boom.
That's what she's doing. She's getting sponsorships, she's getting deals. That's what you should be doing.
Hold on. Quick solution.
It just sucks that no one else, the less famous players on her team don't get that money. She gets it because she's a little more famous.
Rick,
she's got
these
different things. But
prove you're an ally.
I'm not. Apparently.
Quick solution. Every single team that wins the World Cup, they should be allowed to play in the men's league. Will that change the game? Or maybe some
more
of the players.
People would watch it. That's for damn sure.
That's true. But I think they should make some of the leagues co-ed. I feel like that would drive some viewership. That would be dope. I would definitely like some of the
willing
best
to bet
WNBA players to end up in the draft.
I bet that our women's soccer team could probably beat our men's soccer team.
I would pay to see just that game.
I would definitely pay money to go see that game. That is a soccer game I would get down for watching.
Just that battle in the sun or whatever.
Well, I mean, did you see that they played the Dallas All-Stars soccer team before getting the World Cup, and they lost 5-2? These are a bunch of 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds. I mean, they probably weren't playing super hard. That's all fine. It's all good.
Well, the kids paid more.
I mean,
they were playing against.
If the kids were paid more, it'd be more fucked up.
Do you think if Michael Jordan was playing against some children, you would let them win? He was like, "Oh, this guy's going hard."
I don't think a guy would.
Well, especially him, because he has an extreme winning problem. He gets super angry if you lose. If he loses at
gambling joke right there,
he will not talk.
Gambling's an addiction, Rick. It's not a joke. All right.
Well, it is a little bit. He's a multimillionaire. If you can't make fun of him, who can you make fun of? You know.
But all drugs are legal in our island, so sorry.
Hey, this weed's pretty good, by the way. I'm kind of stoned. It's the first thing I smoked this morning.
It's not even infused.
I'm surprisingly stoned for what we're smoking, considering it's a sativa.
You keep saying that.
It was really smooth. It was reasonably flavorful. It wasn't quite as much as Tropicana cookies, but it tastes nice. It was real smooth. I'm impressed. I will endorse me some Point Break from Fat Panda. That was pretty nice smoke.
So I'm 2 for 2 on things named Point Break. Yeah, that's okay. And that's true.
You know what? Everybody at work, they said something, we got Point Break, and they're like, have you seen that movie? Because I'm famous for not having seen famous movies. Yeah. And I was like, I said, I don't know. I said, is that the one where they're skydiving and the one dude leads the other dude into the power lines and kills him, and it's like this underhanded move, which absolutely is from Point Break. But every single person that I said that to went, I don't know. I don't really remember that scene.
Yeah, it's a weird part of the movie. Unless you've, you're super into the movie.
That scene super stuck out to me.
It's a good scene.
But really, everybody else I said was like, I don't know. That sounds familiar. I'm not sure if that's from that movie or not. Fuck, man. Which one of us has seen it?
Exactly, right? Because they haven't actually seen it. They haven't seen you. They haven't seen that movie in fucking 10 years.
Point Break?
History podcast.
No, the last time I saw Point Break was on TBS in the 90s.
They just made a new one. It wasn't bad, actually.
Really? Yeah. Is it like Point Break 2 or is it a remake?
Remake. It's not bad. Actually.
Check that out.
Yeah. It's a good, stupid, get drunk to movie or get high. There's some cool stunts and stuff, but I mean that's the whole point of Point Break, right? Stunts.
Don't set this on this map.
Yep.
So we're sitting
Dump it
around
over
the table in my living room,
spill it all over,
and
light it on fire, and then
so in the middle of this table, because we're a house full of geeks, there's D&D maps spread out, and he set the
Freshly
freezer
drawn
cold
D&D
bottle of
maps.
Captain Morgan's on the edge of the maps. So now there's a ring.
Well, unfortunately, there was some.
There's nothing drawn where the ring is.
Exactly. You know, if you're a good artist, you'll fucking edit that in.
I was gonna say
That'll be a
actually
courtyard.
that's what happened. Is
Stable.
just, there's some wizard right there, and he like put up some weird force field. Like nobody knows it. It's a healing orb. Just hit it somewhere.
No, it's something evil.
Well, of course
Definitely
it is.
something
No, of
evil
course
in
it
the
is.
It's gonna
It's
kill
a
you.
healing orb. When
For
you-
one
when
thing,
you
the
just look at
world
it.
the world that mark is on is a super duper evil campaign we're playing. It's all
I know.
It's
and this
just
is,
really
and this is
evil.
the one good.
I don't want
spot.
to geek out too
Wink.
hard on it.
No, you
Yeah.
Too late.
All right.
Yeah, too late. Both of you guys.
You're like, oh man, my health's regenerating. This is awesome. Why am I also getting stabbed in the neck slowly?
Well, no shit. Who didn't see that coming? Report: marijuana legalization leads to increased snack sales. Imagine that.
Fucking newsflash.
Dude, Nabisco's the one making money, or Budweiser, I should say, is the one making money.
You know what Nabisco stands for?
Your mom.
Uh-oh.
I don't know, but they were bought out by Budweiser, so Budweiser
Nabisco
owns
actually
it.
means National Biscuit Company.
Really?
Smart.
Dude, that makes sense.
That's back when you could just have a company if you got the right name, because there were no companies.
You can still have a company if you have a good name.
That's true.
Enron,
That's true.
Madoff. No one saw
LimeWire.
that one coming.
Yeah.
What's wrong with LimeWire? Fuck you guys.
I know, right?
You gave your computer herpes just so you could download music for free?
Dude,
Right.
shout out to LimeWire. We're going Kazaa style.
LimeWire. Shout out to the first Napster, man. You guys weren't downloading
Dude, and then it
music
was
unless you
Kazaa,
had
and
a
then it
real-
was LimeWire, and then it was like Donkey Wire. Dude, I was into all that shit.
Whatever, it's still the Pirate Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Pirate Bay still up?
Is it
Yeah.
always, if you know where to look?
There's clones of it. Doesn't mean
If
it's always
Pirate
live.
Bay is not up, that just means you haven't found it.
It doesn't always mean it's live.
It's there.
It's there.
It could be that there's the archives are there.
They just change a random country letter.
Yeah, it's Beauty of the Cloud.
Start hosting out of a different country.
That's the way it works.
It's pretty savage. All right. Well, conspiracy podcast. There we go. Dark web podcast. Fuck.
Dark Web Podcast.
So what was your original point?
Super illegal.
What were you bringing up about the Women's World Cup? Just shout out. Shout out.
Yeah,
to them.
just definitely shout out. Sports talk. People don't watch sports.
That's true.
You
I watch- I like
won a fucking
sports.
championship and nobody really cares.
I like watching sports. I just don't know a lot about most sports besides football. But I like watching just about any sport. If I'm flipping through and there's some kind of sports on TV, I'll stop and watch two teams I've never heard of or don't give a shit about and pick one, and usually whichever one's behind when I turn it on and be like, go whoever the fuck you are.
Dude, that is really
I
weird,
love
though.
watching sport, all kinds of sports.
So I looked up the stats, and it does show that after the Women's World Cup, the women got $1.9 million more than the men's team. But like in revenue, so they made like 50.6 million or something like that, and the men's made like 58 point something million. But to your point, like how that's the whole like pie thing is
Pie
the
thing.
women's
You gotta stop using hand
team
gestures,
that
Rick.
won
We're on a podcast.
the World Cup made as much money as a shit team that nobody cares about in the men's World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
The exact same amount of money, but they're at the very top, and
Yeah.
the men are at the very fucking bottom.
So they should be making more.
But it's not about those are separate organizations.
I'm saying put them in the league.
But it's I'm just saying it's a comparison because
You
you're
sound like a CEO.
Yeah, you
Well,
do.
you know.
Trying to cover his ass.
It's a different
It's a money
department,
thing.
okay? The top out is different.
No,
in
it's
that
a different-
department.
it's-
Someday you might move over to the men's department, the
because you're
marketing
conflating
department.
two different topics. I feel like because you're talking about a company that you're talking about the men's World Cup, which generates more money overall than the women's
Yes,
World
but that
Cup
men's
does
team-
overall. It doesn't matter about the team. Barcelona
That-
makes $1 billion a year.
I'm not talking about them. I'm
Like-
talking about the American team versus the American team.
That'd be good.
In a country where no one gives two shits about soccer, okay?
So is
Especially
it-
the
Neither
American
one of
teams.
those teams matters on the
So here's
grand
the question.
scheme of things.
Here's the question.
Here's
the question. I don't know the answer to this, but is the
the issue is
what-
that
is the
everyone
World
has
Cup-
now heard of.
Okay, who is in
women's
charge
soccer.
of the World Cup?
World, apparently.
Is it America?
No.
Then why the fuck are we comparing the two? In America, they're two different things. Why aren't we talking about how
We're
much
talking about the
Ethiopian players
two
make?
American teams because that's not
But,
up
but
to us.
it's not an American. It's not an American company that is setting the standards for this. It's not like we can go to Apple, which is
But
in
it kinda is.
California,
But it's
and
the
we can
fan
get angry
base.
at it.
It's the fan base.
who
You're not gonna
decides-
find
But
fans of
the
American
fan
football
base
teams.
that doesn't watch the United States because it's a bigger organization outside of the United States.
Yeah, but they're competing competing outside of the United
Who
States.
decides?
So our OnlyFans are from here.
Who decides what the men's and women's team make? Who decides their pay?
A international organization.
No.
Who does?
That is not
generate
correct.
revenue in the first place.
Who
If
does?
you're winning,
Who
you
does?
generate more revenue anyways.
Who does?
Shit.
Come here.
It's our national. It's our national. It's
Okay.
the same thing with like our gymnasts and stuff. Our national team gets determined by our national standards. It's why Congress people have just put a law through, or are trying to put a law through, that says national teams, male and female of all types, have to be paid exactly the same. If you're representing our country, you're representing our country. And to point out, one of the reasons that the women's team doesn't make as much as the men's team is because they don't spend nearly as much ad revenue at advertising the women's team to be seen as they do the men's team.
Yeah, they probably.
So they are getting paid by the U.S. company.
Yes.
They're
are
not getting paid by
No, the
international
World Cup is a
corporation.
sporting event. It is not an organization that pays. Nobody gets paid by the World Cup.
Well, fuck it. Sue the U.S. Federal Soccer Federation out of fucking business.
Switch it up,
They
No one
Rick.
gives a shit.
That's what they're
No
doing.
one gives a fuck about soccer anyways. We don't need a soccer team. You know what? I am
see
for,
that? That was
I am
a
for
conservative
taking
coming
all
full
that
circle.
money
Yeah, yeah.
and giving it to homeless. I don't give a
That-
fuck. That's a whole $100 million. Just
That
give
was,
it to
a,
homeless
that was a
people.
weird mental kickflip there, Rick.
That was a-
But
that was a-
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Well, no, the
I'll
whole
take it.
point was that I was asking a question based on it being an international organization. And everybody agreed that it was an international organization. And then we decided that it wasn't. It was a U.S. organization.
I like where you guys took this. All I was trying to say was, fuck it, let them play the guys. But sure.
Let them play the guys. I'd love to see.
That
I
was,
would
that was
totally
my
pay
whole
to
point.
see
Was like
that.
if you,
Agreed.
yeah, I just want to see them play the guys one time.
Can we-
Exhibition game.
I want
That's
to
all
place.
I want, ladies.
I definitely want to place bets in Vegas on that one.
Everybody would.
I'm definitely going to be playing some.
I think it should
betting
happen
odds.
across the board, all sports.
You know,
on
the,
that.
the problem is... The
Hey,
problem
actually, a
is
UFC player
in
just
men's-
called out two
That's different.
women.
That's
Oh
different.
no, he just called out two women UFC fighters that are in the same weight class as him that are champions.
Okay, I'll take
If
it.
if they
I'll take
weigh
it.
more than you, it's okay to fuck with them. We've been over that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't
Animals
want you
only,
fighting
baby.
ladies.
Animals only.
UFC fighters are the same thing.
No, they're not.
Come on now.
UFC fighters are people too.
Wow.
On the outside.
Not inside the ring.
On the outside.
I was gonna say less on the outside because the outside's probably like right.
That's probably fucked
Those,
up. That's true. It's probably some bruises.
Yeah.
They do look a little inhuman sometimes
Oh, God.
after a fight. Yeah,
Mm.
makes sense.
I'm just all about the opportunity. Fuck it. Let them play.
Let them play. Yeah, I love to see that.
Probably should get paid more. What else you guys got?
Hard break.
Yep.
So we can smoke another kind of weed because
Hey.
take a break when we smoke weed and switch to a different type. Maybe? I don't know.
You gonna set that up?
Maybe we'll break or not, but I'm about to light another joint.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Then why? If what?
yeah.
We would break to like go outside or something like that.
Oh, maybe I don't understand the whole hard break thing.
Are you
Yeah.
saying there's going to be a
That was a
commercial
soft
right
break, sir.
here? Yeah, we're back from commercial.
Yeah,
Oh,
both
yeah.
of you guys did that,
All right.
and that was really bad
So-
for both of us.
Now that we're back from commercial, we're going to smoke this deceptively small joint. No wonder I got it so cheap. It's from Seattle Bubble Works. It's Critical Mass, which is normally a CBD strain, but this one is only 5% CBD, which is neat. THC 27.98 is the only indica-infused joint that I could afford, along with the other one.
Wow.
This is the poor podcast, apparently.
And it's a little bitty shorty. It's a half gram. I didn't realize.
Hey, you got some concentrate?
Yes.
This is the Seattle barely smoking smoke show.
No, we just wanted to get some extra joints.
Yeah.
If you ain't high enough, I'll give you some shrooms.
No, it's okay.
Wow.
That's right.
I don't think you could smoke shrooms. I wonder if you could.
We could try it.
Would not recommend.
Dude, so have you guys ever been so high
Oh god.
Yes.
that you
Yes.
fell off Niagara Falls?
And live.
Because allegedly, there is one guy. He survived the drop of 57 meters, which is a lot.
Which is like
188 feet.
No.
It's 188 feet, roughly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's what directly quoted
that's-
from the BBC article.
It took me a
says.
second to do
but-
the math.
Yeah. But how crazy is that? To fall off that? And he's not like, he's not like old school, like in a barrel.
I was just
You
gonna
know what I mean?
ask.
He's not like, he's not even in a blimp or some kind of inflatable. He doesn't even have like the floaty thing.
He
Like
just-
the inflatable floaties.
Just dove.
He just
The water
dove.
wings.
Yeah, he fell, apparently, right?
He
How do you
falls
fall?
gracefully.
How do you fall off
Swept
a waterfall?
over a waterfall,
Hey,
quote
swept.
unquote.
It's a little bitty half gram where you should hit it.
I know, Rick.
You guys' attitude today is off the charts.
Because we're
Yeah.
not stoned.
Disagree.
You said
Enough.
agree to disagree.
Not stoned enough.
That's fair.
I'm a bud tender. It takes me a little bit longer than you guys.
Look at this guy. Weird flex, but okay.
Hey, if I were to tell you Mayor Jim of Ontario was a white guy, would that shock you?
Why are we just calling people mayors now? Like that's their first name. It's not
No.
like doctor. You
what I'm
don't
saying.
say mayor.
He didn't do anything. He just got elected and
He's still Jim.
makes
He's just the
executive
mayor.
decisions about a city. And in
This
some states,
joint-
they're also the police
Not so
commissioner. And yeah, fuck mayors.
Fuck mayors.
What do you guys think?
It's
Yeah,
not that
because
great.
David only wants the
It's all right.
heaviest and the hardest hitting of indicas.
No, but it is running a lot. I mean, look at the cherry on that thing.
Yeah, it's because somebody's fucking power smoking it.
I don't think you're speaking to the mic as much.
Yeah, you get less feedback. There we go. You like that?
Yeah.
Recheck. Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Hey, it's
Hey
working.
Rick, it's future you. Fuck you.
Future me,
Let's do this.
you're an alright
For the
guy.
first time. Yeah,
You're doing this good. I appreciate you, buddy.
of course.
I'm just talking to myself, not you.
I know.
And now the cherry fell out, and the rest of the joint is unsmokable.
Ooh, I timed that perfectly because I didn't know what was going to happen. Whereas I
There's-
thought
3/4 of an inch worth of joint left, maybe.
I'm gonna
Crazy.
get my head in still.
That was a shit joint.
It was
I
only a half
Officially,
gram.
I am not
I disagree. Yeah, I think it was.
super impressed with Seattle Bubble Works critical mass. It's pesticide-free flour. It says it's a half gram.
Oh, that's why too.
It says so on it.
Yeah. It's half
Hey, so we were
But
talking
it didn't
about
smoke well. On top of being a half gram, it didn't smoke well. That's why you get half
I
gram
disagree.
joints.
It was one of
because
our
they smoke
first
better.
joints, and we had a half gram joint. You should have known that I was going to get smoked fast.
You're still not talking to Mike.
Aren't I? Sorry. Jeez, man.
Hey, so we were talking last week about like getting more money for fertilization
What?
for IVF stuff.
IVF stuff. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you said for like just going.
Oh, getting
donate-
paid, yeah.
getting paid for
to
it.
make a baby.
Well, how much would you get paid? How much would you expect to get paid if you
the
had
nuts.
an IVF pregnancy and you conceived 2 children, carried them all the way to term, and then found out they were a different race?
Oh, man. Like they put the wrong stuff in?
Yeah,
I would,
it was
for
a
one
mix-up.
thing, I would give the children back and be like, "These
No,
children
it's-
are your problem."
Wow.
Well, besides that,
He said
it's
give
they're
the
not
children.
legally theirs. They're legally those parents because there's an IVF mix-up. So those aren't even your kids, even if you wanted them.
Wow.
Then you're double
See,
doink. That's
that-
the double doink right there.
I'm a shitty person. Because right then when you said that, I went, "No, fuck you. I want my kids."
Yeah.
As soon as that, no, actually, these aren't yours. Fuck you. I carried them bitches to term.
Yeah.
I'm taking them.
They actually, so it was an Asian couple, and they wanted 2
That's
females. The women specifically gave her eggs, and when they fertilized them, and they specifically picked the women or the female because she wanted 2 little girls,
Mm-hmm.
and when they were implanting them in her, they heard them referring to them as boys. But she was like, they're just using some term, whatever, no big deal. And then, which I don't understand why. I mean, how would you not have? You can know the sex of the baby 20 weeks, sometimes less if you do a blood test. How would they not know that they were both boys? One, that's just what seems a little weird to me. But
What race were they?
so it's unknown, but one of the family members is white, or one of the other families is now suing and they're white, and then the other one is white too. I don't 100% know if the other family is coming.
But the babies
suing.
appeared Caucasian.
They do not say. They just say it's a different race. But there's another family
So,
suing the
the
same
baby just
place,
appears
and they are a
not
white
Asian.
family. It just exactly.
Not Asian. I'd be mad. I'd be upset. And so to answer your first question, I would say in the
I mean,
at
how many
least-
millions?
at least 20 no.
How many millions of dollars? You look.
I don't think it's going to touch six
The
figures.
couple said they tried for years to get pregnant before spending more than $100,000 on the IVF, including medication, laboratory fees, travel, and other costs.
Oh, so
So
that's
you
it.
spent $100,000
Yeah, they're getting back pay.
and then had to do all that.
no, yeah, you're getting back pay, so you're getting all that money back.
But yeah, but how much more now?
Probably not a lot. You might get that $100,000 back. If you spend $100,000, you might get that $100,000 back.
You think they're only going to get $100,000?
If that's what they spent, they're probably going to get, I don't know, $150 tops. That's what I'll bet on.
Hey, I'm going to bet you $100 I'm going to bet over.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know. Sure, you can sue them, but they're going to settle out of court for
How much? That's what I'm saying.
expenses paid.
Expenses paid.
Yeah.
Do you hear this?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Because people don't want to
You
find
are
out.
fucking crazy, bro.
You're not going to
You
want to
are
drag it out.
crazy.
No, people aren't going to want to drag it out. You don't want
Bet.
to spend 5 years in court, so...
Dude,
You're
they
gonna
are
take the
going
money.
to make millions of dollars.
Or, no, because they can just gas you out. They can,
Tens of millions of dollars.
No.
Bet.
maybe.
That's what I'm saying. I will bet you
Maybe.
$100 right now.
No, because you might already know, Rick. I don't trust these fucking...
Dude,
yeah.
I'm going to take the over.
Good.
You are...
Good. We can come back to that. One of hundreds of things we'll always come back to. Yeah, I know.
Am I gonna have to be the bad guy that says it?
Don't do it.
I'm gonna have to say
No.
it.
If you do, you cannot reveal the source.
Mm.
It's yours.
You know, it is a
next
little
topic.
bit like Little Red Riding Hood.
How so?
Well, when the mother had the babies were like, or the mother was like, "My, what big eyes you have!"
Yeah.
That was a horrible delivery, and you're going to hell for that.
I know, but I had to mess up the delivery a little bit because if I just like nailed it, it would have been too good.
Then it would have been racist.
Then it would have been racist. Agreed. This was only like, I mean, I threw it at the racism column, but I missed. You know what I mean? Like I tried to just like nail it. It was a perfect shot, and then I veered off a couple degrees.
Oh, speaking of throwing it at the racism column,
All right.
that's a good segue to my
I like it.
my segment.
Robot semantics.
Guess what, guys? No,
No.
fucking hate it or love it.
Yes, we love black people, James. No, God,
It's too easy.
every fucking week you ask me this.
Easy, okay? Too easy.
We hate white people, remember?
Trying to make it a little
Like
more
everybody
fun.
else.
Yeah, that's the easy way.
Just
That's
because
easy.
I like the Dukes of Hazzard and
No.
it's constantly playing on my TV at home does not mean I'm racist.
You know what? I don't hate any race or group of people, except I have to say I am a little bit I don't like that guy reflex for old white men. They're the worst
Bill Clinton?
customers, the rudest people in customer service.
Oh, in general.
They're just the most likely to cause a problem.
But I feel
is
like it's still
old
one of those-
white men.
Yeah, but I feel like it's still one of those things where it's like a small percentage makes a lot of noise.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, old black men do not make that noise ever. Those dudes are cool.
Yeah.
Like some of our coolest customers are the old black dudes that come in. Like there's one dude, he's got to be in his late 60s and he's a straight pimp. He is the
Look at the reach.
Do you
coolest
hear that?
dude.
Do you hear the difference between the two?
What?
The black guys are smooth talking him, and
Yeah.
fucking all the white guys are like, "Listen, white guy,
Listen here.
give me my shit. I don't have time to fucking complain. I want to sit on my fucking porch and smoke some fucking weed."
That could be it.
And you're
But
like,
either
"Ooh,
way, that makes
I'm gonna give this guy a discount because he's like smooth talking me, and I mean, I don't know.
yeah, and that makes the old white guy a dick and the old black guy a cool dude. That's how you're remembered. That's how I
does.
like
I'm not
to be
saying that. I
remembered
just think it's
as that
mildly
cool,
racist.
kind of smooth talking dude, because that's the way I treat people in customer service. And old white men are ruining it for me because I'm
In 30
approaching.
years, he's gonna be fucking.
I am approaching
Right.
old
Like, dude, I
white
get it. I
mandom
get
really quickly.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying.
They're
You're like, dude, I
ruining
get
it.
it. I'm gonna be there soon.
no, they're fucking it up for me. That's why I don't like old white men.
Dude, you know what? Dude, the shit that I have is mine. Get off my lawn. You know what I mean? Like
That's the best
feel
one.
it,
That's the
dude.
slogan, right?
That's it.
I'm not angry
Old
at
white
that.
dudes 2020, get off my lawn.
Dude, I might vote for that. We could probably get a lot of people to vote for that.
All right, just get off my lawn.
I like get off
I'd
my
put that on a
porch.
t-shirt. Yeah, for sure.
Get off my porch.
That was just a vague shout out to what was going to happen. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. It was supposed to be a segue. Jesus Christ, I hate it or love it.
What are we hating?
Any Disney remake ever beyond the very first ones they ever did?
I don't know.
I'm
man.
gonna love the Lion King remake because I still haven't seen the original. I'm waiting for the new one.
Yeah.
Have you seen it yet? Oh, it comes out this weekend, right? It's out now? When is it out?
This is pretty good.
Yes, good.
It
Right.
says y'all's Lion King movie only has 1 second to prove itself. If that first don't hit like it's supposed to, I'm walking out.
Yeah, for real.
Nah, I paid money. I'm gonna have to sit at least 5
No,
minutes
you know
into it.
what? Casey and I sit through a movie once because we didn't want to walk out, even though we had paid money. But
What
I'm
movie
telling
was it?
you, 15 minutes in, we were like, I don't really,
What
this
movie
is
was
dumb.
it? Come on.
And like half an hour in, we were like, this was a fucking waste of money. And all the way to the end of the movie, we fucking hated it. And the previews made it look like the most awesome action flick. And this movie is the example I give when somebody's like, oh, the preview looked great. Yeah, so did the preview for The Sum of All Fears. It looked like an awesome action movie. It was not at all. The premise of the movie was someone stole this nuclear device and they were going to set it off. Okay? The entire movie up to the very end was, are they going to set it off or aren't they? In the previews, it shows the fucking bomb going off. You know they're going to set it off.
Okay, yeah.
The entire...
Oh, Just Cause? Or no.
The Sum of All
Sum of All Fears.
Yeah. The scene where the bomb goes off is like
a nothing scene.
It's less than 1 minute. It's action, but it's less than 1 minute, and it's all of the action in the whole movie.
3.5 hours.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
The best part of the movie in the trailer.
Right. But half the trailer is scenes of this bomb going off and the destruction that it just wrought on this city.
Yeah.
But that's less than 1 minute of the movie. And the whole rest of the movie is this suspense thriller about whether they're going to be able to set it off or not. But they've already shown you in the preview it's clearly going to go off.
Okay.
The movie sucked. It was predictable. It was boring. It's probably the worst movie I've ever sat and watched.
Okay. I would take that into account if it was a Disney remake, because I still need to know. How do you feel? Every single Disney remake, I didn't love it. The remakes.
I haven't seen any of them. What remakes?
What remakes?
They're all brand new ones. They're going to come out. They're going to come out with live action ones. And
I'm excited about The Lion King.
Are you saying the idea of them? Of the idea of remaking them?
Sure, either one. Both the idea and the actual product.
I mean, I think Hollywood is running out of things to do.
Right?
And so they got to capitalize on it. That's, I mean, if you got to constantly make money, you have to go back and use your backlog and remake stuff, as well as making new things.
Sounds like, love it, Rick? Really? Remakes forever?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that makes sense. That's what they would have.
You know what? Love it. Remakes forever.
Remakes forever.
Okay. Take all of the classic movies that there were and remake them again with modern technology. Same thing with video games. Do it to all the movies. Do it to all the games. Some of them will be great. Some of them won't. But no matter what they are, it does not take away from the original, and it might add to it. So remake everything.
Yeah,
love it.
Welcome to the fucking Final Fantasy dynasty.
Right. Right. Final Fantasy 15, 16, 20. We'll be there. Like, the first Final Fantasy I ever saw was 8. And I was aware that it was long into the series when I saw it.
I feel it. So love it then.
Yeah. It didn't take anything away from it for me.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll say love it.
All right. That was easy.
I won.
Back and forth.
You won.
I won. I convinced everyone.
That's a win for me.
All the Disney remakes, love them forever, doesn't matter. I don't care about all the political stuff.
Right.
Just remakes in general.
Right, just remakes. All remakes. Keep remaking that
all.
shit.
Fuck it.
Right, throw a whole bunch of them at the remake wall. Some of them will stick.
Dude. So, back when I was a young lad, I used to live in northern India. And I was found living with wolves. Let me tell you about that.
The wolves?
So my mother and father left me into the wild, and they left me in there.
I saw you.
Yeah, when they first saw me. I was raised by wolves. I nursed with them. The wolves were my friends and things. We lived in this cave. It's really fun. We had this bear that was a friend of ours, and
was his name Bear too, or was it just a guy?
He might have been. It might have been like
it was Yogi,
like a blue or something. I don't know. Who knows? It was a long time ago. Like that, the language kind of fades from you. Like a Black Panther, but there was this tiger. Okay.
African American panther.
And this tiger, well, that's fair. It was in India, but sure,
he was
African American panther.
African-American.
And there's this tiger, and he was constantly trying to eat me, man. And one day I'm walking through this little forest, like little area, and there's like a clearing, and there's a river, and I'm super thirsty. You haven't run through the jungle, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm walking through, and I'm like, I'm just gonna get something to drink, nice, clear. It's like glacier water. I mean, northern India, who knew?
Ooh.
I'm drinking it. I'm like, oh, it's so good.
Lots of glaciers in India.
Delicious.
Lots. And they're all over the place.
Allegedly. And all of a sudden, this tiger jumps out of nowhere and jumps right onto my back. I'm like, ah! I fall to the ground, rolls me over, and he's about to bite my face.
Damn.
And I look into his eyes. Yeah. And I'm looking inches from this tiger's eyes.
You lock eyes with this tiger.
And I fucking... You know what I see in his eyes?
What?
It's like purple and shit. I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't a tiger. This is Podcoin.
Hey.
Podcoin.
Shout out to Podcoin.
The app that pays you to listen to this Podcoin or podcast and every podcast. It's a podcast player that pays. Just get the Podcoin app on iPhone or Android. It's free and super easy to use. You can use the Podcoin to earn, gift cards or donate to charity like we do. Be a good person or, be selfish. It's up to you.
Charities are amazing.
We use it here at the Seattle Smoke Show. We use the Podcoin app to do all the podcast listening.
We bought Rainforest.
So go get it on the App Store or on Android today. Seriously, just go to the Podcoin app and use invite code SMOKESHOW. You'll get 300 Podcoin just for signing up if you use my code. That's 300 Podcoin just for signing up.
And you can make it rain Podcoin on the rainforest.
Again, use the code
Yeah.
Smoke Show.
That's a pun and a double entendre.
It is.
Go give it a try today. Try it out. Hey, you ready?
Welcome to the Future People Podcast.
I'm going to invent time travel before this podcast comes out. So
You
hello
already invented
past
it
me.
by the time you're saying that.
Hey, since David was so excited to talk about 2 weeks ago pool time, let's talk about last week.
The
Let's
one we
talk
didn't
about
make
my
any
dynasty.
bets on?
What happened?
Yeah.
Sure.
Talk about that one.
Sure. Let's do that.
Let's talk about my dynasty.
What
Who
happened?
won?
Me?
No, you didn't.
I mean, in general, I would
No,
so,
you don't. In life,
Yeah.
you lost on that one.
I mean, like 9 out of
Like
10.
in general, that day you lost, pretty hard
I
overall.
don't think so.
Yeah, in general.
Uh,
So I won. I didn't scratch at all.
are you misremembering what happened?
The
No,
thing
I'm
is,
not.
Did you have a stroke?
Hey, fuck faces.
no, he had a choke the
Oh.
week before because there was a bet on it. That's
No.
what it is. That's why
That
I
is
put
not
the-
at all what it was. It was the fact that we hadn't been playing in a long time, and I needed that little that rematch. I needed that little what do they call it in the
Warm-up?
fighting circle? That warm up fight.
Yeah.
yeah
In the-
man.
in
I
the
need that
movie,
warm
that'd
up
be
The
fight.
one that you lost?
Yeah, that one.
No, yeah. In the movie,
turn
that
the
would be
mic
his
some more,
that would be
buddy.
his Rocky montage where he gets his ass whooped, and then he comes
You should
back.
definitely move the mic away from your face. Yeah,
Podcasting 102.
serious.
You. Oh God. What was I saying? Something about how bad you are or something. Oh, that's right.
No,
Cool.
it was me killing it in pool,
Yeah.
and I murdered it just like I'm gonna murder you both today.
Wow, that sounds like a threat. Everybody heard that? If I turn on missing, you know who it is.
Well, in general, it's probably your
Kick in Rick's door first.
estranged roommate
Oh God, that's true.
or the threats that you receive online from Twitter.
I wish I had a Twitter so I could receive threats from Twitter.
You should.
Wouldn't it make you feel special that somebody was willing to threaten you?
The wrong kind of special.
Is it?
It means you're important.
That's
It does.
It's like a non-consensual
Hey man,
special.
it means somebody is taking time out of their day to think about you.
No, yeah, that doesn't phase
You
me.
should be flattered.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Agreed.
God. You guys just make me feel really dirty right now.
Well, just because people are watching you at night outside of your window, there's no reason to be creeped out from that, bro.
No.
They're recording it. I mean, it's not a big deal.
Mm.
Just pretend they're not there.
Ooh, I made that joke. All right, we're all cam girls in a mass surveillance state. Ha ha ha! All right, fuck you guys. What else you got?
I like that one,
Okay. Oh,
In a mass surveillance state, you just have to be boring enough not to get noticed.
exactly.
All right, I gotta hate it or love it.
Really,
Sorta.
make my day.
Should festivals be allowed to charge people more based on race?
That's not really hate or love it. But,
Do you hate it or love it? Well, it's either period or it's not at all.
that's pretty easy. Yeah, I think race-based ticketing is a little
inherently wrong.
old-fashioned.
Agreed. So 6 days ago, a U.S. music festival canceled after protests their policy of charging white people double to get in.
That's pretty fucked up.
Tickets for Afro Future Fest were $40 for white people and $20 for people of color, a term used in the U.S. for racial minorities.
Yeah,
Sure,
that's a
outside
little
of the
too
United
far,
States.
people. That's white racist.
One of the
Racist against
performers, a biracial performer, protested since she wouldn't perform.
Tiny
Yeah.
Jag.
Yeah.
Wire.
And got stuff started.
Yeah, that's unicorn racist right there because it, almost never happens. And when it does, everybody's like, no, that's wrong.
Right. Well, you would never even think about in this day and age doing it any other way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only way you can maybe get away with it.
Nah, that's too wild. Too much. Too woke. Over woke.
Overwoke. Yeah. I agree. That's the pendulum swinging too far in one direction.
There you go, Rick. That's your segment. Over woke.
You know, we are overwoke here at this.
I'm over how
Podcast.
woke you think you are. Ready.
Oh, dude, this was a weird one. Jim Beam just had a fire at one of their distilleries.
Did it just make everything better?
So obviously,
I read about this.
it is a fire, and they're in a distillery. So alcohol is going to burn.
Did it go boom
It's
boom?
going to explode, and it's going to get dumped into the water. That's it. It is right next to.
Ooh, okay. Did everybody
There's a
get it?
picture of it. 40,000 barrels of bourbon on fire. I'm showing James's picture. You guys can look it up.
Yeah, it looks like a scene
It's
from
just-
some Terminator movie. It's like,
It's just basically just an apocalypse scenario.
oh, God. All right,
But
burping podcast.
well, that's what you usually do.
I know, right?
People would be upset at this point if you stopped,
I'm sorry.
James. You should do it more.
I would not be upset if you stopped.
You should
I'm
do it
just
like
gonna
you
go
should do it
out.
like 3 or
Except the
4
guy
times
wiping his
more. Or
greasy
something.
fingers on the mic.
Like every 3 or 4 minutes. Dude, that's what I'm voting for. I'm gonna start a petition on change.org.
Yeah?
Yeah. Maybe if we get enough votes, the president will have to talk about it.
Oh, God.
Is that really a law?
Yeah. If there's so many votes on it's change.org, if there's over 100,000, the president has to comment on it.
But that's just comment on it. Doesn't mean shit.
He still has to talk about
He
it.
comments on everything.
That's true, too. You could probably do it before God
He's a Twitter diva.
You know what? He doesn't comment as much as you think he'd comment
on
on.
Twitter and get him to fucking
Okay,
tweet
his
back
staff
and
comments for him, whatever. No, I don't
I have
believe
never
that.
heard him talk about flowers
No.
or
Nobody else around
gardening
him is
or
that
cooking, bro. Except for cheeseburgers that he didn't cook, he bought.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
cooking, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And served cold.
Hey, man.
To
How-
athletes who, of course, eat cheeseburgers.
To be fair, how else are you going to serve them? They're probably better cold.
double disagree.
I mean, it's
That's-
McDonald's. It
That
can't
is
be
not the most conservative thing I've ever heard you say.
I know,
And
right?
That's
That's what
pretty
I'm
bad.
That's good.
But it's a good thing for the Kentucky River where it all spilled out to.
Why?
Because it's roughly about 24 miles long and it's traveling at about 0.6 miles per hour to the Ohio River. And once it gets to the Ohio River, it's going to disperse. But until then, all the fish are dead. In
Damn,
that
dead?
area.
Just not even
They're
drunk or
actually
anything?
they actually
Just
have
fucking
Look,
dead?
they have
just
these
because-
big tankers that are coming in. They're just pluming the water, which is basically just they're aerating the water to try to get some of this alcohol out, just to try to keep some of the fish alive.
It's just survival of the fittest, okay? The fish who can't handle their liquor will die.
It's fucked up. We're raising some gutter ass sewer fish, people. Those are probably delicious.
The fish that
No, they're probably
remain
not. Alcohol's a point.
will be Jim Beam basted. You won't even have to marinate them before you cook them. They're perfect.
That's true.
But it's fine because Mr. Francis, his first name is Robert, who's managing the state's emergency response team. We've had several occurrences in the state, so when this one occurred, we were just ready for it and knew what actions to take.
He's in Kentucky, right?
Yeah,
That is not Robert Francis.
He said
That's
we were
Bobby
ready for
Frank.
it.
Bobby
That's
Frank.
fucked up.
Robert Francis, bro.
That is Bobby Frank.
Bobby Frank, for real. They already knew.
They said that basically they have had this happen before, so they were already prepared. So when it happened, they immediately already had procedures in place.
But why does he...
Added that the state knows how to handle bourbon spills and already has a procedure in place.
I was going to say, they better be doing some investigation, too. I know they lost a lot of money on that one.
PETA should be very angry, though, because officials plan to allow the fish to naturally decompose and say the water is not dangerous to people.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? That just means they're going to let the other fish eat the dead fish.
Well, no, they just
Fish, eat the dead
let
fish.
thousands of
Fish.
fish die.
Yeah.
I mean, fish have feelings too, bro.
No, it's okay
Not when
to eat
they're dead.
fish because they don't have any feelings.
Not when the
Oh, and I wanted
Everybody
to
in
make sure
Seattle knows
before
that.
when I was talking about the wolves allegedly raising me, I don't want to get sued by the PETA lawyers.
That's one
So
more
allegedly.
reference.
If
No,
anything, that
we're
would
not.
be CPS on the wolves.
It's a callback.
No, I just keep making references that no one gets. They make me happy.
Yeah,
Well,
but-
because no one's listening when you're making these random callbacks.
Mhm.
What did you just say?
he's making
I said it's
30-year-old
okay to eat
callbacks.
fish because they don't have any feelings.
That is
Everyone in
true.
Seattle knows that.
I know. That's true. They're hanging from the ceiling. People get your jokes if you say them.
I don't think you got that.
I didn't
Yeah,
get
it's
that.
the Nirvana song, bro.
Right.
It's one of my favorite Nirvana songs.
I didn't get
Are we
that.
gonna talk about
I just want to make sure.
hidden secret Nirvana songs that are great?
Secret ones, too.
Hashtag white people. You know what I'm saying?
The
What?
caucasity.
The
Yeah.
caucasity.
That's a good point.
I like that.
Do we have some concentrates so you can blow our minds with?
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
If
It's a
any weed to
concentrate.
put them on,
This is
we
a
could-
concentrated podcast.
Yes,
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
highly concentrated.
Concentrated.
this podcast.
Because I like my
Because,
weed like I like my women. Strong.
I was gonna say alcohol, but yeah, women. That works.
What? Yeah.
I feel like
Strong.
what?
Yeah. Yeah.
I like my concentrates like I like my women. Kind of flaky.
Kind of flaky.
And white,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
see-through,
your
huh?
thing, but
almost see-through. I would say.
it's true.
I'll take it.
You guys didn't know David was a serial killer?
I mean, I could kind of tell.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense.
Shh, don't tell
All right. Shout out to Dexter.
Shout out to Alaska.
Alaska.
They're the
Do
ones
a
that
lot of
got a
serial
fucking
killers
deal
there?
with him.
What?
Spoiler.
Spoiler?
Oh, why
I
did
don't
you
know.
gotta
Is
do
there a
that?
book or something?
Give me the dab tool.
Was that a thing? Going to Alaska?
Yeah, he left to Alaska with a child.
I didn't think it was Alaska.
Well, you don't obviously know
Didn't watch
because
the
you haven't
finale.
seen the finale.
No, I
And
did. I just don't remember.
spoiled.
It's okay. R.I.P. Well, still dope.
Hey, you should watch the end of Dexter.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Rick. I thought I did.
You
but
should
apparently I was
not.
fucking wasted. because-
No.
Hey, have you
You
seen
should
Game of
not.
Thrones,
I
bro?
don't-
Wherever it
remember
is that you think it ended is better.
Okay.
Just let it stop there.
Exactly.
You're good.
That's better.
Hey, did you know the Raptors won the NBA Finals?
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I just want to let you know.
Actually, they're going to retire his number.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well,
That's pretty wild.
Drake's?
Yeah. Drake's gonna
0-0?
Drake's gonna have a banner on the Raptors.
Dude, he fucking might. He should.
Raptors.
He's the biggest advertising that they have, and he doesn't even work for them. He should work for them. They should pay him.
I mean, shit.
A
He was
consulting
courtside.
fee.
He was courtside enough for them to get the ratings.
He's
up.
paying for that shit.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
He only had 2 seats.
Allegedly.
He only had 2 seats. If you're a real baller, you buy out the whole section. And it's only 6 seats because they're courtside.
I don't know, though, man. I don't know if you... Well, 6 seats is you probably could, you know.
And because you're center courtside, too. You're not in the fucking corner and underneath the hoop or anything. You're center courtside.
Hey, can I make a prediction?
What?
No.
Tim Cook is going to be fired in the next... Well, either he's going to leave or retire or get fired in the next year.
Jesus, sports talk for people who don't fucking
Or
watch
2.
sports.
I predict
At the most.
90% of our listeners don't know who that is.
Tim Cook,
I don't know who that
the
is.
CEO of Apple, the guy that took over Steve Jobs.
I thought you were talking about sports.
I know.
I thought it was
left.
some weird sports team
He
reference
just reminded
that I
me, and
didn't
I'm gonna
get.
forget if I don't make
Okay,
this
so they know who
prediction.
Tim Cook is.
I need this put on audio so it can be put into the files, the annals of time, so that you can understand how advanced my thought process is on the philosophical stylings of technology.
Philosophical styling.
What?
Yeah. So basically, I'm just trying to make sure that people hear this
Hmm.
and that it's cataloged, and that people at some point when I go, "Hey, I fucking told you, motherfuckers," I can go, "Hey, you should listen to episode 18."
Nice.
When I called this shit a year or 2 ago.
Once again, shout out to Future Us.
But it's because,
Revolution.
I mean, everybody's kind of pounding on Apple right now, but I mean, that's the biggest problem with Apple is that they are no longer a innovative company.
No, yeah. 'Cause
That was not what I
Steve
meant to
Jobs
put in
said
there.
that when money people get in the way of innovation, that fucks everything. And that is exactly what's happening. Tim Cook is a money
Keep
man.
that upright. That is not. That's not actually what I meant to put in there. That's probably the best concentrate I've ever had. I was saving it.
nice.
I grabbed the wrong one
It's
and put a bunch of it in there.
It's tasty and it
It's
creeps up on you a little bit.
super tasty. It's called Jelly Breath. It's smooth. Now there's other stuff that was
numbers.
in there underneath it, so you won't get quite all of its flavor, but it tastes kind of like a berry cake. It's really, really smooth. Some of the best concentrate. Really, I think it might be the best concentrate I've ever
What are
had.
some of the fake numbers on it?
I don't know.
Real
I don't
fake.
pay attention to that shit. It's from
Fake.
Dabstract.
Fake real
It's
numbers.
Dabstract Gems and Juice Jelly Breath. And if you find it, buy it at any price. It is fucking amazing.
Wow. That was a heartfelt endorsement.
He likes it, apparently.
Mm.
It is pretty good. It's going to empower my ability to... It's going to enhance my pool game. So really, this is leading to your doom. Your
Your
ultimate
doom.
demise.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring my stick this time, though, so you're all doomed.
Dude, honestly, if we all have regular sticks, I think I win usually.
Well, then you two broke motherfuckers should go steal you an $8.99 stick like I did.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Again, I'm your lawyer. Dude, this is really smooth. Has no bite. I mean, it does have a bite, but it's not harsh. You're not like smoking or anything.
Yeah.
Or
It's
coughing.
really good stuff.
For sure.
So that's how I got my pool stick, like, oh God, 15, 16, 17 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's an old stick.
Yeah. I went into a sporting goods store that had a whole bunch of different pool sticks. They had all kinds of different stuff, but they had a section that was pool sticks.
Allegedly.
And I went to the least expensive 2-piece pool stick, which was $8.99. And I peeled the price tag slowly off of it and went to the most expensive, like, titanium core badass stick they had that was a 2-piece and put the price tag over that and took it to the counter in the back instead of in the front. And they rang me out for $10, tax and all.
Nice.
And I've had that stick for 17 years now. I paid more for the case than I paid for the stick.
Allegedly.
It's a good case.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
That may or may not have happened.
Dude, I think you should tell a story about your Friday. But don't use names of hospitals. But you might as well put it out there because you have no idea
Okay.
what is
All right.
going on. And maybe someone knows. Maybe
So-
we'll get a voicemail.
It's true.
Yeah, really, if you know anything about this, let me know.
Again, my vote, AIDS, gonorrhea, syphilis.
Okay.
But that's mine.
My vote is, I don't know, some kind of alien cancer.
I
Alien.
like that. You know
Alien.
what? I
Not
want to
alien cancer,
switch
alien
mine.
AIDS.
And I'm gonna
Alien AIDS.
piggyback off of his. I like that.
Alien eye
Alien-
AIDS.
Alien-
Alien AIDS.
Alien eye AIDS.
eyeball AIDS. That's it.
Yep.
So about 3 weeks or a month ago. I woke up in the morning, and you know, when you first open your eyes in the morning, they're really sensitive to the light. Well,
No.
I mean, sort of, sometimes. Sure.
like has
when
anybody
you're
ever
hungover?
woke you up in the morning by flipping the light in the room on?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like looking at the sun during the day.
I wouldn't recommend.
Right. You can do it, but it's painful to do. It hurts your eyes. So that's
Don't be
the
a
way
quitter, people.
every light felt to me. My eyes never adjusted to the light all day long. This went on for 2 days. On the third day, I went to my doctor and was like, Doc, what the fuck is going on? And they went, you have pink eye. And I went, oh, shit. Okay. Well, here's some eye drops.
Yeah, that's literally it. You had shit in your eye.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Same.
Anyway, so they gave me these eye drops and I took them and it didn't help.
Mm.
And they were still sensitive. And very, very, very long story, much shorter. I made another appointment with my doctor. It was a couple weeks before she could see me. Went in there and the doctor
Shout out to
went,
lady doctor.
I don't know what's going on with your eyes. My suggestion is you should go to the emergency room because they can consult with a specialist. Since I'm paying cash, it's very hard to get in to see a specialist. So they said go to the emergency room. Went to the emergency room. The doctor stood there, rubbed his chin, and went, "Man, I don't know. You need a specialist." And I was like, I fucking know that. I mean, really? That's what I'm paying emergency room prices for?
Yeah.
And
Cash, by the way.
Shout out to
cash.
our
We
healthcare
talked about it
system.
last episode.
yeah,
It's
he prescribed me eye drops that were the same thing as the pills my own doctor had prescribed me. He just said he thought they might be more effective because I put them directly in my eyes. I never filled that prescription. The pills I was taking kept it under control.
It's got to be like vitamin E in there, bro.
Damn. Placebo effect. It's just fucking
No,
saline.
it was
Bacon,
high dose
they're
naproxen.
just Visine.
honey.
It's high dose naproxen. It's the anti-inflammatory that was making them stop reacting for some reason. That's a lot of ibuprofen is what I was taking before, but I was taking too much. I was taking like 5,000 milligrams of ibuprofen a day.
You gotta gargle it first.
You're probably just allergic to something.
Well, that's what I thought, but I couldn't figure out what it was because I have the same reaction at home as I do at work.
Yeah.
I have the same reaction in my car.
Hmm.
Like, it happens like all the time.
Year
It
round?
was just really no. It just started happening about a month ago, and then it just happens all the time.
Hmm.
I had a couple of days where I was like, I'm fine. Why am I fine?
Hmm.
I mean, I'm cool. Everything's fine, but why? I don't understand why. Turned out those were days where I had been taking ibuprofen for the headaches that my eye strain was causing, and it was reducing the inflammation, so my eyes stopped reacting. So they tell me to go to the specialist. I go to the specialist at the biggest hospital around.
Yep.
And he does a whole bunch of tests. They dilate my eyes. It's horrifically painful because that makes them even more sensitive to light. He checks them out with all kinds of machines, most of which involve just shining super bright lights into my eyes.
Laser beamed your eyes.
And in the end, he's like, man, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this. I don't really know what's going on with you, man. It's, my best guess is dry eye. And I'm
Dry
like,
eye.
what?
Is that
He's
a
like-
medical term?
He's like, yeah, it seems like you must just have dry eyes. You should take regular eye drops, like artificial tears,
Yeah.
4 times a day, and put a warm rag on your face twice a day, and come back and see me in a month.
For
And I'm-
AIDS people, put a
Right.
warm rag over your face.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that's not going to help. Like, this naproxen is the only reason that it's not like horribly painful right now, and it's pretty bad because now it was painful. My eyes were dilated and everything. And he said the naproxen should not be making any difference. The ibuprofen should not have made any difference. That doesn't make sense that those help. You should stop taking that. And I'm like, man, that's the only thing that makes me capable of functioning. And he's like, I don't know what to tell you about that. I don't really know exactly what's going on, but I know it's not these other things. So you should stop taking naproxen and use eye drops 4 times a day. Really? That's what you got for me?
Eye drops 4 times a day.
Right. When I went camping, now it was overcast the whole time I was there. But when I went camping, my eyes were not bad the whole time that I was there. We smoked ridiculous amounts of weed, so I know it's not the weed. I rode in my car. We went a long ways riding in my car. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm thinking 2 things. One of 2 things. I think you're either allergic to some kind of pollen because it just started.
that wasn't where I was
summertime
camping?
thing. Yeah, because it's fresher air. There's more stale pollen-y air in the city because all the trees we have are just solo. There's nothing to, hold on to that pollen when it comes through. The other thing is, maybe food. Something random you might
eat every day for a month?
No, it just might have fucked you up one time really bad.
I did get food poisoning like a week or two before this started, but I puked for a day and then I was all right the next day.
That's pretty bad. Puking for a day sounds like shit.
Yeah, it sucked.
You know what?
It was some 7-Eleven food. I got what I paid for.
It's some kind of alien flu, or
those are the chances you take when you buy food at 7-Eleven.
Right, but it was weird because I got to where any kind of light bothered them, even at night. The street lights and stuff really, really fucked with my eyes. They would just pour water like I was standing in the sunlight. If I looked down, it would stop reacting. I'd be okay. If I looked straight ahead, it started to bother me. And if I looked up at all, it was really painful.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's really fucking weird.
Did you hit your head?
I tried all kinds of different things to try to figure out what was causing the reaction. Like, how do I make this better? How do I make it react less? And that's what I came up with was looking down makes it much better. And first a high dose of ibuprofen and then a less high dose of naproxen eventually makes my eyes just stop reacting.
It just sounds like a whole lot of blood thinner and a little bit of anti-inflammatory.
It sounds like something.
I took doses of Claritin, Flonase, Benadryl. None of that helped. No. I really thought it had to be an allergy or something because it was such a quick reaction out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Literally went to bed one night, fine, woke up the next morning, bam, as bad as it got. And had no idea where it'd come from. That's why it made so much sense to me when the doctor was like, think you have pink eye. Well, I mean, it happened all at once. I mean, okay. But like equally in both eyes. It's not unheard of, but that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Interesting. And I have no idea. I still have no idea what it is. He told me to take eye drops 4 times a day and come back and see him in a month.
Shout out to all you doctors out there who are going to chime in.
Yeah.
That's just a simple symptom of AIDS. And you can take a pill, bro. It's not that big of a deal.
All right. Shout out to everybody docting right now.
Docting?
Docting.
Doctoring.
Doctoring. Doctoring. I still think it's alien eye AIDS.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I agree with you.
That's still the over. That's still in my top 3.
I think I have alien eye AIDS. I think you're right. If they just start treating me for that, it'd be better.
Hey, and that's why we got
there'd be some
big pharma, bro.
And that's why we got to get into Area 51. Okay.
Agreed. That's what I was gonna say. I'm sure he signed up for that.
Oh yeah. Of course.
So I mean, maybe the aliens are just taking that list and they're like, oh, well, these people can definitely be fucked with.
Oh,
they're good to go.
Oh, that's good too.
Now they actually have some some plate. They have addresses. They have.
Either way,
gotta get that Facebook.
No matter how much they like throw stuff out there, joke and posture, nobody's gonna go storm Area 51. It's not gonna happen.
I bet people show up
because people aren't completely stupid.
No, I bet
and there's nothing there. If there was, they would just move it somewhere else.
Have you not seen the Bob Lazar documentary?
Here we go. Conspiracy Rick.
When was it made?
2 weeks ago it came out on Netflix. He's been saying the same shit since the 80s, bro.
What shit? No,
well,
obviously, I haven't seen something that came out. All right,
so we don't have to talk about alien stuff. So basically, he says that he allegedly worked on alien technology.
Okay.
He worked on, he's like, I don't even care about the alien side.
When did he say 80s. He did it? You think any of that shit's still there?
Why wouldn't it?
Why would they leave it there?
Why wouldn't they?
Because it's in the middle of an open desert.
That's the point.
Right. That's shut down. It's a military installation that you cannot go to, and they just expand it out more.
It's a fucking no-fly zone.
Yeah. So let's leave this place that you can't get to.
I guarantee even if 1 million people showed up, for one, they wouldn't do shit. And for two, if they did, there would be nothing there.
Okay, 1 million people aren't going to push over a building that's installed into the ground anyway. So even if they were to get onto the actual place, what are they going to do?
Can't go downstairs.
Rip open a door? It's steel shut. I mean, it's bolted on. You're going to throw 100,000 people head first into the door? Hope it fucking breaks? Like, what are you going to do?
Like I said,
there's nothing you can do.
They're not going to do it. If they do, it's not going to be successful. If it is, there's not going to be anything there.
Oh, right.
If 1 million people...
2 out of those 3.
Look, if 1 million people actually were capable of storming onto there and getting at some state secret... they would move it to someplace more secure.
Or just lock it down further in the basement.
Or it's locked down well enough that it doesn't matter if 1 million people show up with all of their guns. It doesn't matter.
So to be fair, though, this guy, he did talk about back in the 80s. He talked about he was like, when I worked there was this a handprint device, hand scanning device, and basically what it does is it scans the bones in your hand because they're all unique. Your length is different from mine, different from his. They're almost they're more unique than your thumbprints. And so he was saying there's this device basically that he would put his hands through. It would scan it, and that's how his key card would pop out.
Did he end up with fucking radiation cancer from getting his fucking
there's
hand
no
X-rayed?
fucking way in the late 80s that this technology existed.
Oh,
there's no possible way that this happened. And since the late 80s, since he came out with this, he's been talking about it. And they just 2 years ago, they decommissioned one of the places in Area 52, which is a base 50 miles away. But they actually had one of these devices from that era that was exactly like he was talking about. So he gets justified in that. He was, there's just he worked at this. The whole point of he was working in this his Palo Alto University, and he got put in the front page newspaper because he had built a jet engine Honda, and he was driving it to work.
Nice.
People half a mile away could obviously hear this jet engine in a Honda, and they made a paper about it, or they made the front page, and hey, this guy who works at this university. And later on he got asked to work at Area 51. And then after he came out and they started talking about it, because basically he started showing him some of his friends. He was 26, 27. And he started being like, hey, you guys should come out to the desert because on this Tuesday nights, there's less traffic on the freeway. There's just statistically, there's all these things that there's fewer people on the road, fewer airplanes flying by, all this different stuff. So on Tuesday nights is when they test, and he would take his friends out to the desert, and they would see all these weird, crazy light shows and all these weird aircraft.
Boom.
They're flying around and shit. And he started bringing out. They started being dumb and started doing basically fucking trailer parties. And he brought out a motorhome one time, and they were drinking and partying and stuff, and watching these UFOs essentially.
That's what you do if you live in the desert. You hang out in the desert.
And he got caught, and that's how he got in trouble. But then he was like, all right, I'm just going to spill all the goods basically on it. And they blacklisted him, blacklisted a bunch of his friends. They took away his educational credentials. There's no record of him having a degree anywhere. In fact, the university that he worked at said, nope, he never worked here at all in any way, denied it. I don't even know if they still deny it, but he walked. They found directories from the years when he worked there, clearly listing him as a person that worked there. He'd walk in, he knows where all these fucking places are. He knows right where his office was.
Here we
knows
go.
Where all this shit is.
This is good.
But he's doing all these different things, and he's justified in all this. And again, this newspaper, this front page newspaper, came out and said, hey, this guy works at who made this cool ass car works at this university. And so there's all these different things that he's getting proven right over the years that they're no, there's no possible way this technology, the handprint technology exists. There's no possible way. He didn't work at these places. He's getting discredited, and they find this book, they find this, they find these things. And he's getting proven slowly, more and more and more. So it makes you go, all right, what the fuck else is right about his fucking story? Because if he's fucking saying these things, and all he basically says is that he worked on this device that basically is some kind of antimatter fuel propulsion device, some kind of engine. They're not 100% sure how it works, how it even functions. Nice. They have no fucking clue how any of this shit works. But he was talking about this thing that's uranium, or one of the chemical on the periodic table of periodic chart for chemicals. It's chemical 115 or whatever it is. And this is back in the late 80s. Never fucking heard of it. They've never made it. No one, no way this thing even fucking exists. You can't make it. And just last year, some researchers out of Germany were able to find this chemical 115 to make it. And actually, it existed for a few seconds, obviously. But they still were able to create it, and they discovered this, 115 that he was talking about this whole time. That he's like, dude, at some point they're going to be able to figure out how to make that stable. And I'm telling you, this is a crazy fuel source based on this alien technology. This is what they're using. I don't know, man. It makes you question shit.
I still don't know if it's alien technology yet, because it's still done with chemistry. So alien technology is just more about what we already have.
But he's saying that there's certain things. I don't know. Again, you should watch a documentary because I can get super deep into it. But
getting your finger cut off and having finger surgery, you know.
Yeah, but I
we're
mean,
primitive when it
he's
comes
talking
to
about these. He saw a UFO like twice actually in action up close. It was only twice. There was a test flight and there was one other time. And the test flight, he like went up and there was some kind of like anti-cloaking mirror device, so you couldn't actually see it when you were right above it. It just went right through. Basically, how it says it's essentially an antimatter device. So it's sort of like being in a pocket of air and water.
Like a vacuum.
You're completely
like an
out.
anti-gravity device.
Yeah, that's what I said, yeah. But it's essentially like, I mean, imagine if you're in a pocket of air underwater. I mean, you can just move, you can do whatever. I mean, it's you know. So that's essentially what it is. That's why it can move so fast, and UFOs are always, they're kind of like a laser on a wall. Like a cat toy, you know what I mean? Like, beep, 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 all different locations. And that's why it's essentially because this anti-gravity device, so it doesn't function within gravity's spec. So it can go in motion and out of motion very easily.
Yeah, it's like harnessing the power of space. It's a vacuum.
But he was saying it's weird because all of these things basically function. It's basically completely outside of gravity. So all of these different things, they're, you know, all the waves and all these things, it goes around the ship. But yet somehow they were able to talk to the driver, the pilot inside.
Ooh, that's dope.
They were able to communicate with him.
Radio
when
relay.
it shouldn't have been able to work. It should have gone around the spaceship because everything is bending around it. So I don't know. There's some questions, man. There's some questions. I'm not saying I believe it.
And so the people
but I'm
are going to
saying
find
there
out.
are legitimate things. This guy,
The people need to know.
these 4 or 5 things that have come out that are true. You're like, I don't know, man. You know, I don't know. Now, am I saying those crazy ass people who are always getting abducted are real? No.
Are you serious? So many people disappear every year, too. Crazy amount.
Yeah, man. Sex trade is a real thing.
It's true.
That happens.
It's true, too. Okay, but what about the people who aren't sex trade worthy?
Transients, people that just like go homeless and they move to a
know,
different state.
with a little soap and makeup, anyone is sex trade worthy.
Yeah, that's almost true. Almost true.
I guess so.
Depending on the country, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's kinky motherfuckers everywhere around the world. Somebody's looking for something.
Yeah, but sometimes that person's in China and the other person's in
That's
Nigeria.
why it's a trade.
All I'm saying is,
Well, that's true. There's work involved,
a
people.
lot more people get abducted, and than I think just the sex trade does. They probably do a lot, but a lot of people get abducted too. A lot of people go missing. It's kinda
To
weird.
become models. I mean, look at those people. They're fucking hungry. They're skin and bones.
Yeah.
They're sure not feeding them. They don't treat them right.
They don't treat them right.
I'm just saying.
They
Make
don't
them
treat
fit into
themselves
these
right.
tiny ass. Dude, that can't be warm. A bikini?
It's true.
They're in New York
But that's why you
during
don't-
winter.
You only were supposed to
You
wear.
know what I
them
mean?
on
You're
the
giving them
beach, you know?
bikinis?
Yeah.
That's. I'm just saying. There's a lawsuit there. Just throwing that out there.
Huh.
I think I'm gonna have to kick your ass and pull that.
Yeah. Do you want to make up a brand new outro?
Do we want to make a prediction on this pool game?
We already made a prediction on all the pool games, and it's that Rick's probably going to scratch first, and he's probably going to scratch the most. And I'm probably going to win. And most of you guys are probably going to complain afterwards.
I'm gonna say under on both.
I'm going to
I'm
say,
gonna say I'm gonna win.
Rick scratches first, but I win because I'm bringing my stick this time.
I'll take that bet.
Yeah?
Yep, I'll take your bet.
I'm not worried.
You should be.
You guys can't see.
Because you're
it's
the
not a
variable that can put the
webcast,
chink in his armor.
But if you could see
Hey.
my face right now, it would be a not
It's
worried
a
face.
Chinese person.
Hey, you had to make it racist, bro.
Wow.
That makes you the racist because you thought of it. It's like you smelt the Delta.
You
heard
made
the
me-
racist thing. and
You
thought
made
of
me
it.
watch that show.
Double
okay?
racist Jeopardy.
You made me watch it.
Made you.
You
Dude,
forced me.
Dude, straight up Clockwork Orange style, I did.
Oh, God.
Fucking shrooms, and we like tied him down, opened his eyes, and made him watch it.
It's pretty fucked up. It's pretty
Well,
crazy.
you know, those are different days.
All right, we got predictions. Okay, we're going to come back to this for sure.
Good,
I keep
we should.
doing the in and out thing.
I know you do.
And so,
You're terrible
RIP,
at this.
future me.
No mic game
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm such an active guy with my fucking upper body.
with your NBA shirt.
Yeah. Do I look like I'm from the NBA?
No,
Yeah.
a little bit.
A little bit.
You know what? I bet you at least someone thinks about saying something to you when we go
That's
to this
true.
casino.
Oh, dude, every time I go to the
For
bar.
sure, one old white person's gonna be like, "Dude, that guy is in something."
Every time I go to the bar, somebody has to say something. Some drunk motherfucker else has to come to me.
White person.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, of course.
9 times out of 10.
The-
You're
the-
wearing a
the-
fucking NBA shirt and you're 6'7".
Yeah,
it
but-
wouldn't matter what color you were. If you were an Asian guy, they would still say the
Hey,
same
but-
thing to you.
Oh,
let's
but the
say
1 out of
very
10 are
few
Puerto
companies
Ricans that
tailor
are
large
asking.
people,
They don't know.
and the NBA is one of them.
Puerto Ricans like basketball.
Wow. I think Puerto Ricans like
What- it's-
baseball and soccer more.
You know, it's going to be funny when one comes up that's just honest enough to go,
Checkmate.
you're too small to play
James.
football.
Yeah, right? It's not an NFL logo.
That's harsh.
It's not an NFL look. That's an NBA look.
That's countryist?
What?
I think that's
No.
coined here, people.
If anything, it would be sizest.
Sizest.
Yeah, but if it's a whole country
Heightest.
of people.
Heightest.
Heightest. No, because it's not just about height, right?
Height.
No,
I think that's how you pronounce it. That's the correct
that's
Caucasian
definitely
way.
not going to be our outro.
It's the Caucasian way to say it.
Jeez, I keep doing this fucking in and out thing. Welcome to Echo James Podcast.
Yeah, you're
The
killing
Echo
it.
Podcast.
One of these days you'll figure out how to use a mic.
Fuck Amazon. That's our word now.
Is it?
No, probably
Dude,
not.
I've
Fuck
gotten...
Kanye
probably-
West.
probably not legal.
Amazon's eye.
I've probably gotten like 20 packages in the last 2 weeks.
Just off of
Because
random
we had a new
shit.
computer.
You know, it's like it's a stereotype of Amazon to like way overuse packaging on stuff.
Yeah.
We ordered like 5 small items from them, and they came in a box so small that Casey took it out of the mail and like shook it and was like, "Nah, there's just one thing in here," and there was like, well, what all was it? Was like 2 phone cases,
A vibrator,
And
some
some-
porn,
no,
magazines.
no,
and,
it was like some like
Apple?
couple different
An apple, because you
Oh.
gotta keep your blood sugar up.
couple different kinds of baby
You can get
medicine.
those on Amazon?
Yeah.
But there were several things in there, and it was all in a package that was like 2 inches thick,
Nice.
like a little cardboard.
Wow.
Envelope.
Allergy dude.
Yeah,
Killing it.
I don't have allergies
Exactly, right?
at all.
You gonna make a
Amazon?
beat?
Smooth
You
jazz
love
talk. The end
guests.
podcast.
We appreciate your ears.
Yeah, fun.
Those beautiful listening devices on our face.
Smoking that dope.
Serious.
We leave you on
Like
great
that.
terms.
You've been
Thanks,
listening
guys.
to Seattle Smoke Show.
See you next time.
This is a podcast, Comedy Network.